Alrighty, so just to say we're about to get started now. As ever, it's great to see you guys here, and this whole event happens because we've got a community here. Turn it up. Okay. Well, I'm going to delegate that action quite effectively to Jack here, and I'm going to keep talking so we can gauge if this is loud enough. Is that better? Is it loud enough for bad karaoke? Does it need to be louder? Does it need to be louder? And louder again? More? Adam, you cloth in your ears. Excellent, awesome. All right, okay. So one of the key things we've been trying to make sure of at the start of these sessions is just to acknowledge that this is a community event. So the idea behind it is to engage and make this as much about your own experience as well. It's not just about coming in and listening to someone talk about something, but also an opportunity for you to share your experiences. So the way this session is going to work is we've got Steve, who's very kindly offered to come and talk with us, so he's going to present for us, and then very likely once that session's ended, we'll have the opportunity to ask some questions, and then we'll have a bit of a break. And if you're thinking that you'd like to share some information, maybe about a project you've been working on, something you've found recently, some sort of tool that's pretty much indispensable to your workflow, it'd be a great opportunity to get up and just share it. Nobody's expecting anybody to get up here and recite War and Peace or anything like that. You can just even say, hey, you know what, you should have a look at this if you're doing this. It's a great tool for it. Everybody benefits from that kind of share. It's a real good thing to do. So pretty much there's a few things that will make these sorts of events better. It's always great to have an idea about what sort of things you guys do want to hear about. So we've got the meetup site, meetup.com/Sydphp. So it'd be great to come along to that site and then just leave us some feedback. You can get in touch with us via the Twitter feed. Let us know. If you want to present, you're welcome to. We really appreciate hearing from you. So our typical ongoing sponsor, just want to mention Formation Technologies, but tonight the bar tab has been put on by PayPal and Braintree, so thanks very much for that, organising that. That's been great. Yay for the bar tab. Yay for Steve. Thank you, Steve. So I'm going to hand over to Steve and let him take the mic from here, and hope you guys have a great night. Looking forward to catching up and talking with you as we go along. Thank you. We got this much rope.
Hello. Thank you for coming. Such a great turnout. It's the first time at the PHP Sydney meetup, and yeah, awesome group. Yay! Everyone come. I am the, is that louder? That's better. I'm the developer evangelist for PayPal and Braintree in the region. So one of the things, going around Twitter this afternoon, I did say I did bring with me a brand new project that I only finished on the weekend that nobody has seen in public yet. I was keeping it for the PHPNZ Conference next week, but I thought I'd bring it to show you. Now, it isn't actually PHP related, but it's still cool. Well, I think it is. So here it is. Hopefully it still works. And yay, it works. Wearables and IoT at work. It is using an Arduino, no, not an Arduino, a Gemma board from the ADA forum. So I thought I would hack up a shirt just to say that I've used some wearables and some little LEDs and some conductive thread. So there you go, it works. I'm going to leave it on because it's cool. So I am the developer evangelist for PayPal and Braintree. I'm going to do a talk today on V.Zero, so new great little payments program, payments SDK that Braintree brought out that combines Braintree and PayPal into one little neat little package. A little bit about what I do in the region, because my title doesn't tend to be very well recognised in Australia. The first question I always get is, wow, what's a developer evangelist? And this kind of sums up what I do in a day. So I've basically spent all afternoon talking to a lot of conferences in the region, so anywhere from here to South Korea, about sponsoring, about talking, about ways we can help generate content. And yeah, my day tends to be rather mixed. Traditionally, I am a full stack developer, so I deal in web, mobile, and PHP was one of my first languages, so still very, very proficient in the PHP world. But yeah, rather mixed world these days of delving into code, submitting white papers, and coming out to talk to different meetup groups. Before we get into too much, I thought I'd go into an event we ran in Sydney not too long ago called Battle Hack, which was a 24-hour hackathon. And we have the man responsible for the Wi-Fi and the wonderful Wi-Fi down here, who sat there the entire time, 24 hours monitoring our Wi-Fi network, which was awesome. Had absolutely no downtime and 100% internet, unlike what we have at the moment. He's not running that, so it's all right. But great event, great turnout. We will be back next year. Lots of corny jokes that was coming up on our Twitter boards that kept everyone rather amused, if I say so myself. Had a few fallen by the morning, even a few zombie attacks on our Wi-Fi network. The winners, Team Gearbox, did an amazing job. Everyone that entered did an absolutely amazing job. Team Gearbox was really exceptional. They basically built a sports utility box. There it is down the left-hand corner, that they would leave in parks. So it used an Arduino, inside a box, and you'd use a mobile app to rent sports equipment. Once the payment goes through, a little door opens up and you can reach in and grab sports equipment. And then you had a time to be able to get it back to the box before you get charged for another increment of time. Absolutely fantastic effort. They hacked up one of our boxes to build it, but yeah, end result was amazing, and they had a ball. So the reason for telling you this is we will be back next year. I don't see any other familiar faces other than the man responsible for our wonderful Wi-Fi network, so I'm hoping I see more of you there next year if it's in Sydney. So Braintree. Braintree is a full stack payment provider platform which allows merchants or developers to be able to take credit card payments through a website. Used by some pretty big brand names, so it's used in things like Uber, and you won't even realize you're using it. It's basically like a white label payment service. So integrated into an app so that you would basically attach a payment method to a user profile. So for Uber, for instance, most of you are probably familiar with that. You create a profile inside the app and then attach a payment method to that. So anytime you use the service, you're automatically logged in, automatically transacts against your account. So a new product called V.Zero, which integrates PayPal and Braintree all into one nice little package. The flow basically works so that it creates like a unique client token on the server against the user's instance. It does that to try and create like a unique session, so to stop against cross-browser attacks and basically create a real good sort of secure connection. So I'm going to try and do a demo. I don't know how well this internet's going to hold out. Wait for my screen to catch up. There we go. So to show you how simple and small this is, there we go. So basic tiny little payment form, which looks something like this. Inside the folder, I've also got the Braintree SDK. Now this is using JavaScript and PHP, of course. So drop in the JS, small little bit of JS there, and try and hold the microphone. So on the processing side, I have requiring the Braintree PHP, some configurational stuff I get from the developer sandbox. The first thing I'm going to do is generate a token. And I don't think the internet's working. Yay! Jack!
Just Google, is the internet working? Find out. Somebody will have a page.
Let me Google that for you.
He's trying to connect to the camera.
Does Jack actually need to be?
Steve, here we go. If not,
Jack's internet's not working.
You see,
either.
if we only had the guy who was here for the Wi-Fi 24 hours.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, that's it.
I shouldn't have mentioned it.
Look, I'll see if I can get a token just in case. It's probably got a.
I can make
Alright, what I'm going to do.
wireless hotspot for him if you want.
Get another hand. See, why can't I IoT that?
Jack, I can make an internet hotspot for him if you want.
Let's use the happy hotspot.
Thomas? Sorry.
I think that's just I'm trying to get the password for it.
In fairness, they do really good fries here. Oh, wait, I think we're connected. Do I have internet?
Should always run demos What is the remote API call?
You steal your data? My neighbour's Wi-Fi is, I cheated on my Wi-Fi.
It's a highly available service when you have an internet connection.
One where we take all the products and put it into Grow. You might put it into Grow. Okay, we're going to take all the products and put them into we have we have a plugin. Plugin creates
I might use this to go and get some more beer.
Yeah, can I get a... I might just get a...
Pint on? Yeah, just go hard. Go hard. Ah, fine.
Sorry. And then
So, thin ones or wedges?
Get a thin one.
Like that? Yeah.
So those are all.
Yay, internet.
Internet's gone again.
Yes, okay. So, in the processing side, I've just generated a unique token. I'm going to grab that, drop it into the front end form. And refresh. I hope the internet still works. Come on, internet. There we go. And a payment form just appeared. So now I can use PayPal, I can take credit card straight inside the little form. Going to switch the back end over now. So this is just for a basic sale. So just grab some the post amount that comes over and a payment method nonce, which is the unique, when the token gets generated onto the front end, the transaction then uses gets a nonce into the form, which is then passed over to your processing. So I'm going to create that into the transaction, which basically authenticates the session. And just some basic error checking.
Could you please increase the font size?
How's that? Better? So, now I can put through a transaction. I'll put it through for, say, 123.45. I'm going to use PayPal. that'll return me to the form. From here I can change payment method and go and do a credit card transaction. We're going to put through a sale for that, which should hopefully process the internet. There we go. So that works. Check that in the sandbox. And there we go, $123 transaction, and often just a few lines of code. Can also use the credit card service as well. And this form is fully stylable. There's a whole bunch of different options inside the documentation to be able to style it differently, or even build your own form. So that just did a credit card transaction. So very, very easy, very, very simple to set up. There you go, next sale just went through. So that's the V.Zero offering. If you want to check that out, my screen didn't come. There we go. There we go. If you want to find out more, check out developer at Braintree. Developer.braintreepayments.com, which is not playing well on this screen, but we can link to it after the meeting. Meetup. So Blockify is something I've been playing with. I'm speaking next week at the PHP Conference in New Zealand, and I thought I didn't want to do just the regular sort of talk on payments and PHP. I wanted to make it a bit interesting, so I thought brand new framework that's out called Blockify, and I've been watching this since the early days, since the first version came out. It's intrigued me because it's a little bit different to most other frameworks. I've used CodeIgniter, I've used the Laravel. None of them really, as a PHP developer, like a primary PHP developer, historically, none of them really impressed me the same way this one did, because it's more of a snippet, PHP snippet focus. So you can create a nice little function and a nice little block, share that with your community, and then quite quickly and quite easily install that using like npm or the actual framework itself. It's got, of course, it's open source. It's got Bootstrap built right in, plus it's got Grunt if you want to be able to build your CSS. And it's got less in Sass and CoffeeScript and a couple of other nice little things already built into the framework. And that was one of the things that I really, really liked. Block Manager, I found that one, 2 AM and thought, no, I can use that. Yeah, so you install Block Manager, which is the core framework itself, just through npm, which quite easy, quite simple to install, takes literally half a second, depending on your internet. And then from there you can install any of the blocks from the actual community, which are available through their website. There's a whole list of them. I've started deploying a few. I think I have to clean them up. It was really early in the morning when I was deploying them. But yeah, very, very simple to install. And again, you can reuse these multiple times. They're very configurable, as I'm about to go through. It's as simple as literally doing that. Block, header simple. And whatever the block's called, you literally call that into a function, straight into the site, and away you go. And then from there, you can actually configure it. So it comes with a default configuration, which you can quite easily override with your own array of whatever you need to put into it. The only thing you may have to do with some of the more customized blocks is dig through them a little bit to find what the default code is, and I'll go through how to do that. So creating a block, that's the basic structure. So you have a block.json, you have whatever the block is called in its little folder, you have the matching PHP file, icon image, that's really just for when you start sharing them out, and style.css, which of course Grunt uses to compile the main style sheet. That's what the footer.simple looks like, footersimple.php, sorry. And the JSON, this is the standard block of JSON for the footer simple. Very easy. You can see the variables there. You can load that in. Wait, did I put it? No. You can load that in just like that. So if you need to override the default, which in most cases you will, you can load it straight into the sheet itself. One thing I did find, and this is from the PayPal block that I'm working on, of course, you can also include a functions.php. Now some of this stuff, it is still in beta, some of this stuff isn't documented on the website yet, and I've only found this by either digging through the core framework itself, or I've been talking to the actual developers that have been working on this, so some of this stuff isn't quite documented yet, but I managed to get it working. And then yeah, so if you wanted to build your own custom functions to call inside a block, include it in the functions.php file inside the block folder, and then you can call it straight in. So I thought I'd show you some of the blocks that I've been working on. Now keep in mind it was really, really early in the morning when I was doing this. So switch to, there we go. So this is a basic site. Let me increase that. Alright, is that better? Do you want it bigger?
That's good.
Basic site, I've just got the header and footer included, and that looks like that. And the footer looks like this. And this is just a basic HTML template that you get on their website. So one of the blocks I've got is of course a V.Zero, which looks something like this. And again, I can do exactly the same thing I did in my basic demo. Hopefully the internet's still good. Yep, there we go. So really easy to build. What that actually looks like code-wise.
Yeah, that's actually an inspired way of doing it, isn't it?
Very similar to the basic demo. It's literally just calling in JavaScript. Like this one, I'm actually generating the token inside the code and then just echoing it out. And the JSON that goes with that is just that. So all my merchant key, public key, private key, all included. I have a test sale in there just in case one's not called into the block itself. These are just the default, the standard default settings. So very easy to use. Google Analytics block. Thought I'd build this is really, really quick and simple. I think I've actually got that. Yep, there it is there. So see, I'm overriding the default just with my own variable. I'll call it straight in and it does all the heavy lifting.
Thanks.
So my screen. There we go. So yeah, that's basically Blockify. Really simple, really easy. Check it out. It is still early days, so keep in mind the documentation may not be 100% there yet, but I think they're definitely headed in the right direction. So looking forward to using it next week and being able to do more with it at the New Zealand conference. That's kind of me. And I love putting that picture at the end. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'm on social media like everywhere. So I'm known as Developer Steve in every which places most of you may have already seen or worked out. And I'll be around tonight. And yeah, if anyone wants to hit me up on any of the social, then totally for it. So yeah, thank you. I'll answer questions too.
What would you say the main advantage of using the likes of Braintree
sorry.
would be over something like
Okay.
eWay?
Are you going to have that?
Probably not.
Always love these questions.
That's
Not getting any
what
swag
we're
now.
avoiding.
It's a fast turnaround. It's an insured product, so it's got a security component built into the actual pricing. Look, I've used eWay and some of the other sort of Australian-based payment gateways before. Braintree is fully open source, so I know some of the eWay documentation. I mean, eWay is actually pretty good. I've used it previously with a lot of gyms and whatnot over the years. Comparable as far as pricing goes, developer side of things, I've got to be biased and say Braintree's definitely engaging with developers a lot. So, yeah, look, it's still got a strong offering, and yeah, it's a big marketplace, so we're all free. I'll be around if anyone wants to ask anything, so yeah, feel free. There's no more questions.
Any more questions, folks?
That's Blockify, is that just building websites? It's not like an MVC framework, it's just websites?
I wouldn't say it's completely MVC. It may head that way. Still early, but yeah, it's more for websites. More website, yeah, definitely. At the moment it is, but yeah. See where it ends up.
Well, thanks for that, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was good to learn